Welcome to the Global Snapshot for the month of August. Today's broadcast is very special broadcast. Today's broadcast and the first subject matter that I would like to discuss is our country, Canada. Sadly, the Canadian public woke up in a very sad news where there is two ISIS fighter came here to the country legally through our Ministry of Immigration and tried to commit a crime of terrorism here in our land. Ahmed Fuad and his son Mustafa have videos, have ties, direct ties to ISIS, was filmed even when they was committing crimes. And somehow, as a failure of a leadership that we see today in our country, we see both of them received a Canadian permit resident. They came here to Canada and they start to live without us. Make no mistake, this is not against immigrants. This is not against refugees. That's not against who deserve the help or not. But this is definitely a big question mark about who we are as a Canadian, about what our government is doing in order to protect our rights. One Free World International, and me personally, as a man that came here as a refugee, as a man came here seeking help and support, I did not ever wished to hurt Canada. The opposite. I serve this country. I'm proud to be a Canadian. And I can tell you by fact there is many newcomers, many immigrants, many refugees will die for this country. It's not a matter of black and yellow or brown or white. It's a matter of law. And we all under one law. We are all under the respecting of the regulation that we live to in order to ensure the security and safety of our Canadian citizens and our Canada as our country. Please write to your MPs, please write to the Prime Minister, please write to the immigration, please write to the RCMP and CSIS and tell them how this mistake took place. We will not remain silent until we see our people dying in our subways or buses or stabbed to death or run over by a car. We have to do something in order to protect our country from terrorism. One Free World International glad to announce that we are about to launch a legal case against federal case against our Canadian government in order to get these questions answered. We thank you for your support. In Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh for the last decade and a half, been the Prime Minister of this nation. Make no mistake, Sheikh Hasina was a corrupted Prime Minister. We took a delegation of Canadian Member of Parliament and we had meeting with her before and looking at the file of protecting the minorities, especially the Hindu and the Christians in the land. After the collapse of her government, we received a very disturbing report of a Muslim extremist rights attacking the Hindus, attacking the Christians, burning churches, Hindu temples, attacking the businesses and the restaurants of Hindus and Christians. Take this 1 minute out of your time, take this 2 minutes out of your times and write a letter to your Prime Minister, to your President, to the MPs, to the members of the Congress. Make sure that they will communicate with the new government, with the new embassy of Bangladesh in our land, ensure that they will enforce protection of the minorities, enforce their rights by the law. They are all equal. Make sure that you know that doesn't matter how busy you are, your 1 minute, your 2 minutes, your letter, your voice count, and you will save a life. So let's just save a life together today. As we are approaching October 7 and the horrible massacre that happened to the Jewish nation, to the Israelis on October 7 when Hamas terrorists attacked their land, killing more than 1,200, kidnapped more than 200. We are witnessing right now a horrible war that took place between good and evil. It's not only again between the Hamas and the Israelis, it's between good and evil. As we are approaching this anniversary, I'm very proud to announce that many communities and our task force under the umbrella of One Free World International will be having an event on October 6, 7 p.m. to remember this horrible day, to remember the one that lost their lives, to remember the women and the children, to remember this horrible terrorist attack that took place not just against Israel, but against all of us as a human being. So we're asking from you to come stand with Israel, stand against anti-Semitism. The details of the event will be announced. Many of you know that One Free World International, immediately after the attack, we went to the front line and we start filming our documentary Dying to Live with an amazing director, Chris Atkins. And we will be very happy to show part of this movie for the first time on October 6th as part of the event. We will light a candle. We will be meeting with the Israeli officials, such as the Consul General, and we'll be very happy to announce that we'll be hand by hand, side by side with the Jewish community. So please come with us and stand with us in this important day in an order to show solidarity and the hope for peace for each side involved in this conflict. Thank you. Please comment below. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you for your support.